Hi, beautiful people. It's quite late in the UK. It's nearly midnight, and I'm still busy away doing the Tame the Triggers workshop. But today on the VIP call, somebody shared that they were anxious to send out a message or a request on Facebook to folk asking, what do you like, love, respect, or appreciate about me? Somebody shared that they've done this workshop 3-4 times and they've never been able to do it. And I just want to talk to those of you who have not done it because you are scared, and it makes sense you're scared, and I want to unravel this with you and make sense with you. So if you're watching the replay, type replay below. If you find this helpful, share it with those that you love. I'm making it a public video because I think it's a really, really important thing of us reaching out to get our needs met. Now, when folk from the program, from the workshop, have reached out to people, they've said that it's been life-changing, like things that they thought about themselves that they thought other people hated about them. Other people mentioned how they were fearless, how they made a stand for things, and they felt uncomfortable. I remember when I did it, I just made a Facebook post, and people, the one word that people kept saying is that I was fearless. I was like, oh my God, I'm so fearful. I just don't let the fear stop me. I just keep going. I'm just like a bull in a china shop. I just got to keep going. Even if things aren't working, I just keep going, because at some point something's going to click. But I will stand up for people, and I will just, because nobody stood up for me. And so there's this little child in me that hurts so much, that is determined. And that was fascinating for me. And it really changed my viewpoint that I had been shamed so much as a child for being stupid, speaking out, saying the wrong thing, being inappropriate, being lazy, pathetic, useless. You know, that was my sense of self. And in asking other people, it was kind of like the cogs in my head were shifting. And I want that experience for you. I want you to shift into going, oh my God, these capacities in myself, I always judged myself with. But let's look at why it's so hard to ask people what they love and appreciate about us. So first, often, like I've just shared, I got insulted a lot and criticized a lot as a kid. That really just distorted my sense of self to make me think I'm stupid, horrible, nobody loves me. I had that classic insult of, I'm sure the stork brought you to the wrong house because you're adopted, that sort of thing. When we have been treated like that by people around us, having this name calling, criticizing, insulting, then to reach out to somebody and say, hey, can you tell me what you love, like, or appreciate me about me, or value or respect and about me, whatever you ask, you're putting yourself in a vulnerable situation where people could repeat that, and the little child inside of you would be totally crushed because it was so painful to go through that as a kid. So I want you to tune into this little child that has gone through such hell, being treated with such contempt, coldness, cruelty in its life, and love it and empathize and say to it, that was not okay that you were treated like that. That's not the truth. Like, now I'm waking up to the fact that, oh my God, I was weird and lined things up, probably because I'm autistic, but I didn't match the autistic frame of what it is. I looked up female adult autism, or I heard a lecture on it, and I was like, that's me. And then where I shared, I'm going to go for a diagnosis, some random person on Facebook who's a Facebook friend said, based on your postings and all that I've seen in the last few years, my guess is you also have ADHD. And I read it to my kids, and my kids are like, Mom, do they know you? Do they look at you? Like, I had nearly every single one of the 36 things. And so then suddenly it was like, now I know why I didn't do things when I was asked, why I was weird, why, and I also have dyslexia. My daughter has a severe dyslexia. So then I could see like why the words swim. When she said the words fly out at her, I was like, oh, they do me too, yeah. normal. So, but I had just thought that I was stupid. And everybody else experienced words flying off the page at them. So, but to ask somebody, what do you love about me? You might get that insult. So you want to tune in and say, it was not fair that people insulted you rather than tried to understand you. It makes sense that it's left you feeling alone, scared, hurt, upset, grieving, angry. Really tune in to this inner child. Remember, if you can, if you can't, it's totally okay. Remember the feeling of it. You might be able to get the feeling, but not the memory of how it was, and meet that with love, like you are the loving parent to this inner child, and just say, I'm so sorry you were treated like this. It was wrong. This is how it impacted you. This is what it made you feel. Validate this inner child's experience and help them to make sense of, it makes sense why you're scared now to reach out to other people and make yourself vulnerable, because you don't want to get hurt again. And you think of, if you've reached out to people, like if I reached out in tears, I was told, oh, if you don't stop crying, I'll give you something to cry about, or, oh, why are you so selfish and thinking about yourself? There were so many things where I would get gaslighted to think I was wrong for ever putting my needs first, or sharing what I was going through. And so to then have to make myself vulnerable and go, hey, everybody, can you tell me what you like, love, appreciate, value in me? Then it makes you just go, they're going to dismiss me, they're going to negate me, they're going to make me wrong, they're going to turn around and put me down. That's really, really scary. So I want you to take the hand of this inner child inside of you, and take our hands. Imagine me as a supporter with you, championing you, encouraging you. But here's the condition that I want for you, especially those who are scared. I don't want you asking some random fucker who's going to turn around and insult you. Yeah? If you know that somebody's an asshole and they're dismissive, don't ask. Don't be vulnerable with people who don't have the capacity to meet you. You know? And you might want to do something like I've got these two little things, and you might want to go, I'm really scared. I'm going to be with you. It's going to be okay. So that you are teaching yourself the rapport inside of you to love yourself and meet yourself. And I know that's weird. I used to do it on 2 chairs. So I would sit there going, I'm really scared. I understand. So that I would talk to myself through things and role play to grow the skills in myself to make a stand for myself. Nobody was home. I'd even do it in front of my kids, and my kids would find these 3 or 4 chairs around the room where I was being different personalities within myself, the therapist, the inner child, the person who was feeling messed up now, the angry teenager, and I would go from one thing to the other, learning and understanding and unlearning the impact of the programming for these different aspects of myself. So if you can meet these parts, like maybe as a teenager you were shamed and excluded, and so you don't feel like there's anything good about yourself. What we did in the VIP call is there were 2 people who were so scared to do it. And one of them I described to her because I know her life story a lot. She's worked with me for a while. I shared with her, you know, she had been so cut down and insulted, and every time that she turned around to get love and support from her parent, her mum would reject her and hurt her. Every time her mum would make it around her, like, why should I be nice to you? What about me? Don't you care about me? And so there was never this tenderness, this care, this reception to her of, you're lovable and worthy and I adore you. She just didn't have that from her mum at all. So it makes sense that if you've turned around to get love and attention from somebody and they've just smacked you down, to go back out and go, hey, do you love me? You're like, that's too sore. I'm not going to keep doing that. That's agonizing. But what I want you to recognize is it's that type of person, somebody who's abusive, who's toxic. You don't want to keep reaching out to those people. You want to reach out to healthy, kind, loving people. So I want you to think of who is one of your closest, kindest colleagues or friends or kids or parent. If you have kind parents, find out who is really kind and cherishing and say, I'm on a workshop and the workshop leader has requested that we ask this question. And I'm happy to do it with all of you. So hands up, who is going to do it? You can, when I've finished this, you can write in the comments, yep, I'm going to do it. And I want you to do it with me. I want you to do it together. I haven't done it this time because I did it a few months ago. And then I feel like I'm being a bit demanding, asking again. But I will do it. If that means that some of you will do it, then I will do it again too. I will hold your hand and we can all leap in together, because sometimes it's scary. I was wanting to go down to the sea and do a video for folk who were thinking of doing the Overcome Emotional Abuse program, and go, sometimes it's scary to leap in, and then I was going to run into the water and leap in, but now it's raining. I'm not going to go and do that in the rain. So you'll just have to imagine that. So let's hold hands and leap in this together and go and ask the nicest, sweetest, kindest people. Here's the result that people have got. They've said it's changed their sense of self, like they realized that what was said of them in childhood were lies, that it's not the truth. It was their parents' issues and not reality of who they are. That actually friends valued and appreciated the things that the parents were criticizing. It's because the parents were emotionally abusive. You didn't deserve that then, and you don't deserve that now. So make a choice of asking people who are loving, kind, sweet, and nice, and say, what do you value, appreciate, love, respect, or care about it, or see in me? What are my good qualities? I'm on a workshop, and we have been told to do this. This will really shift things in you, and I want that for you. So hands up, who's going to do that? I'm going to put this in the thread in the Tame the Triggers workshop for those who are in the workshop, and I would love you to put your hands up and do it with me. All right, I'm sending you love, and I look forward to seeing the screenshots of what people have said. You can just blank out their names, cut it off, and put it into the group. I want to see it, I want to celebrate you, and I want to encourage you. All right, sending you love. Oh, and don't forget the contest. So go to restoring.love/contest for those of you who in the Tame the Triggers workshop, because we're going to be announcing the winner, and the winner's going to win the 8-week Overcome Emotional Abuse program. So get engaged.